This talk is meant to be an encounter with a critique of gossip. To navigate the opaquity of this comment that this theme presents, I think it would be helpful for me to explain what I mean and the origins of my um, decision to approach today's talk from this angle. A very mature philosopher of phenomenology at Duquesne named Paul Collazo, who appeared to be involved in militia activities of a right-wing nature in the city of Pittsburgh, a PhD of philosophy from Duquesne University, once told me that editorial opinions are largely gossip, particularly my own. You could tell I wasn't well read, that I trusted my mind too much to perceive the truth when I had no critical facilities, all of which I took very well as interesting and informative as a deaf man seeking an education. He was given to Martin Heidegger, Dalí, the existentialists. And I think what I'm driving at when I say this talk is a critique, an encounter critique of gossip, is that he called most people's ideas about philosophy gossip, that they had to encounter and engage with their very own mind and their very own time and their very own informed critical facilities, the minds of other philosophers for their own capacity to mature and fill out to be fulfilled. So this gets me to my point, my reason. Most of us, I would even say all of us, have become exasperated um, by the bumper sticker heads in political editorial talk rooms who resort to insults, resort to threats, who appear to be part of hate crime syndicates, interfering with, intimidating, and scaring off legal commentary in the United States of America. My argument, or my exploration, my critique of gossip is that the underlying thread that gives these gangs their momentum is in fact very well read, respectable, deep, cerebral philosophers who understand the limitations of their audience and are given to manipulation of them. As a result, the left and right cohabitate while thinking of themselves as oppositional. You might think, what a strange paradox, where two opposing armies are actually operating on the same principles. Well, it's actually very common in human affairs. Erasmus, who's credited with the philosophy of Christianity, a medieval writer who issued in the um, Enlightenment by uh, receiving the Greeks from the Muslims and mentioning them in his translation of the New Testament. He pointed out that France and England were both serving the same Christian God on their battlefield. And he pointed out that such a thing is clearly absurd, destructive, absurd theater. And he got nowhere, but he was right. They were, and it was. The paradox of the left wing and the right wing in America acting out the same principles. Similarly, is not so much a paradox as a manipulation from behind the scenes by thinkers that work. The thinkers in France who had Christianity as their groove had no problem motivating French soldiers to fight English soldiers who also had Christianity as their groove. So, where is the paradox if it's not Christianity? Where is the reconciling thread in Columbia University's propensity for spinner beanie ideas that put them at odds with people who think almost in diametrically identical manner? Well, think for a minute, what is a spinner beanie? It's a cap that you put on your head because you're in favor, and you pat your head and you turn it on and it goes, whoa, and suddenly your gossip mind assimilates as truth anything you glean from Cornell West. Well, it says it's just Cornell West, of course. It's Michael Foucault, Noam Chomsky, and Donald Trump, and them guys who everybody knows about from the Hollywood talking box, because that's where the paradox lies. It's an assimilator machine, an AI system that just spits out gossip left and right and then drinks from the blood of the carnage. And they get full credit for everything that motivates this bumper sticker, that bumper sticker. Bumper sticker companies don't care what side you're on, as long as you manufacture, print, and sell from their bumper sticker company. So, what gives is an attempt to get to the bottom of the gossip and beyond in what people consider the holy minds of their social parameters. And they're not going to like that coming from me for various reasons pertaining to my reputation for being a jinx, which is manufactured by the Hollywood talking box, the bumper sticker salesman. They bumper sticker salesman me. So it's a good idea to see at root what is the poacher phenomenon behind necrology theorists from Africa, for example. It comes down to a paradigm. They talk about subverting the dominant paradigm at Carnegie Mellon University, which means at Carnegie Mellon, it means when Japanese extremists contradict um, the old goals of FDR in decolonizing in favor of civil rights movements and independence movements, which JFK also stood for. So